Great evening to everybody. Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the number one grinder, one of the best kept secrets on social media, the best of the business. Better believe that. We get these announcements out the way first. Shout out to my underrated one family, the ones who've been there from the beginning, and the ones along the way. Thank y'all so much. Let's keep on fighting for the truth. So thank y'all so much for being there for me. No Guts Zone podcast, brother Clarence McLean, it's White Tiffany, and everybody else on that side. Salute to y'all. Keep up the fine work. Salute to y'all. Welcome to the the mighty LDBC. The Stanford Lions Den boxing community, also boxing community, basketball community. Shout out to Brother 78 Sports TV. Also, shout out to everybody else, the rest of the brothers and sisters. All right. So shout out to y'all. All right. All right. Say hold on, brother Ebo. Hold on, brother Ebo. Only brother Ebo Sosa get the link. Only brother Ebo Sosa gets the link to come up here. All right. There's hold on, brother. All right. See. All right, there goes the link right there. You just come on up. And then tonight it's a brother Ebo will chop it up with me on the Darkness Round Table. So finally got it. So we're gonna wait till he come up. So as he came up, I'm gonna erase this stuff. So, but welcome, family. Welcome. Hey, brother 18, how you doing? I mean, sister 18. I'm sorry. Hey, I ain't seen you in a while, sis. I know, don't worry. So waiting for the brother to come on. So we can get this going. How you been doing? Oh yeah, it's gonna be a sister 18. So watch out for that. Hold on, brother. Let me get this out. Oh fuck. Hold on. Remove. Want to remove. Okay, cool. There he is.
What's going on, brother? Maybe I should turn it this way. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Salute. What's going on, my brother? How you doing?
I'm fine. Salute to you, brother. Salute to you.
What up, 18? Salute to you in the chat. Whoever's in the chat. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you doing, big man? You doing the announcements and getting all that?
I finished it. I got out the way.
Oh, right on. So, hey man, it's an honor to be here, man. You know, yeah, you always been getting at me. Yo, man, when we gonna chop it up? You know, man, I need to be doing so many things right now, but you know, luckily I have a family that is very graceful when it comes to knowing when I want to take a little time out of the routine to do something like this, you know. And plus, my family.
I appreciate that, and tell them I thank them.
So, oh yeah, they're familiar with you, so you know.
Continue. I did chop it up with him and his wife a few years ago.
Yes,
I did. It's on the channel. I should have pulled it up and posted, but I did a chop up, and it was great. It was real great.
Oh man, we loved it. I pester her all the time about, yo man, we need to do it again, baby. You know, let's get on there. It's a friendly zone. You're easy to talk to. You know, you ask the questions that really, you know, make the mind start to twirl and spin and dance and everything. Man, we loved it. It was wonderful experience.
Thank you. Part 2.
Yes. Part 2.
Part 2, y'all. Part 2. Yeah. Miss Mashona Knight. Thanks for coming. Appreciate that. Um, Now this gonna be different, y'all, because like I said, I did a chop up with him and his wife. So now we got the one and only Ebo Sosa. They say, "Ooh, this is Ebo Sosa."
I'm nobody.
Yeah, you somebody now. You somebody. They come after you. They come after me. I know something, but we gonna get into it. Everything. Again, welcome, brother. Is the family watching?
I don't think so. I hear my wife. She's in there preparing some chicken breasts. I hear her tablet going, so she's probably immersed in whatever she's watching. My daughter been on some creativity today, man. She like in there chopping up papers and making dragon heads and all kind of weird stuff, man. So
all right.
Yeah.
Okay. It's no problem. Now we're gonna get into it. Also, let me explain something to you. This is not an interview, and hopefully one day I can interview you too.
Hey, man, I'm with it. I'm an open book, man. I'm
open book. Yeah, I'm going to interview the one on Evil Sosa. But also, it's a chopper. People don't know. He's going to ask me questions.
Yes.
So respect. This is going to be. It's going to be something like.
No, I got some soft. I got the main thing is I'm throwing softballs, but I got a couple of prodders, a couple of questions that you might have to reveal some things and just give up a little game, you know.
No, but I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah,
I'm on
cool.
too.
Yep. And hey, I expect the same in return, man. I mean, there's a lot of things over the years in my videos I've hinted to that I've gone through via divorce and been homeless a couple of times in life, and I've had an extensive period of solitude. After the divorce, I went totally black, off the grid, no phone, no nothing. I had to get things right up here, y'all. And once that happened, everything changed. Once I learned to what I like to do is I call it resting in accountability. Once I learned to look at life with through that kind of lens, everything changed. And when I say rest in accountability, I don't mean taking just responsibility. I mean looking at life, knowing your position in life, and understanding you are the reason you are where you are. You're the reason why things are going the way they're going, or why they're not going the way they're going. So resting in accountability, that was pretty much my thing a while ago. I started doing a big series on it, but it was fun. But nevertheless, yeah, those kind of questions about stuff like that is what I expect. And but today, so hey man, you want to start it off? You want to start right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, if you want, now I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something different.
Okay.
Because I'm the #1 grinder. I can
right
do
on.
That. I'm a jack of all trades. I can switch it up if I want. I can do that. Usually I start. If there's a question you want to ask me first, then Oh, you want me to ask you?
I'll start off. Cool. I'll start off because I'm on the #1 grinder show, The Underrated Darkness. I first discovered you in, I think it was in Angry Man's chat. And you were always supporting as I was as well. We were supporters, and you always had a lot of positive things to say, you know? And so anyway, let me start off by saying this to the audience. Your mind is like a parachute, okay? It don't work if it ain't open. So that's what we're going to set off today. We're going to start things off. I'm going to interview the gracious host. Started things off like that. First of all, I want to ask you, how old are you, brother?
59.
59. Okay. And where do you live?
Newport News, Virginia.
Newport News, Virginia. I'm familiar with that. And what exactly do you do?
alive, impact our community, impact myself first. I put God first. Impact my life and make sure wherever people go through, I go through things too, and just try to be positive the best I can. Learn from my mistakes. Be around positive people. And I know it's hard because you gotta define the fake and good. And sometimes there are people have put on different masses.
Yes.
And when you're talking about the parachute, when we up here, that's got to be open because I want the goodness coming in. I want to be alert. I want to charge my own alertness, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important for me. So throughout the years, I had to separate from the fake ones and the ones that they think they got my back and stuff like that. So let's keep on growing. Be around. Be around people like you, that had the belief of that person's humanity. I think that's really missing throughout humanity and throughout our people, especially us as black men. Because for me, I'm gonna say this: I don't mind telling another black man it's a winner, but why it's gotta be defined? You gotta have muscles. Oh, you gotta find you got a good job. Oh, you gotta define what neighborhood you live in. And for me, it's like it's cool and everything, but you got other black men that are successful in their own way, and they impact their community in their own way. So I'm saying, announce all types of black men that's doing good. So for me, I'm not the typical black. I'm not knocking. I'm not knocking myself. Trust me, I'm not a typical black man. I'm a typical black man. Listen, I was raised born, or I was raised with no silver spoon in my mouth. All right. I lost two of my grandfathers when I was young. When I was 6, when I was 8. Played an integral part of my life. All right. Me and my late father didn't really see eye to eye. But back in the 80s, in the decade, we got close and like that. So I had other things, I had other challenges, especially Ed and all. I talk to you, you know what I'm saying. So I had other challenges I had to deal with for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I put first. And so when you hear me talking, right? This ain't no parade and all like that. I've been through a lot of stuff and I lived through it. So I take pride in myself as to help people that wants to be helped. Now, if you don't want the help, go on the corner, you good. But I take pride in myself to help people to be there because I know what it's like not get the help I should.
Mm-hmm.
And so I pride myself to not be afraid of the system. Just put myself out there. That's why that's how it is, yo. So to answer your question, that the grind is always going to be improving. The grind, that's why I coin eternal learning. You should never stop learning. You always learn from others that had the wisdom or knowledge. It doesn't mean it had to be older, it had to be somebody younger, but be intact of your eternal learning. Always keep yourself open. Always keep yourself of goodness. Always keep yourself of improvement, spirituality, you name whatever it is. And so I get that. That's my foundation. And throughout the years, by my late parents, and by other people, other men that have took me in their wing and see my potential and helped me grow, helped me nourishing my masculinity. Know what masculinity really mean. Masculinity doesn't mean that you have money in your pocket. Masculinity talk to character and other faces of men that sometimes we don't like to talk about. And so I take pride in that. I take pride in that have you on here because I see you as a high standard in a good way for us as black men. So wherever I want people to understand the chat and even outside. So when Brother Evo supposed to a give me a compliment, I'm being honest. I'm opening up now. I take a badge of honor. I take a badge of honor of that because he see my potential just as likewise I see his potential. And sometimes people talk to give people flowers and all that. Yeah, it's cool and everything, give people flowers. But for me, I respect your humanity, bro. I
I
respect you being
appreciate
a
that.
man. I respect that you stand up of what masculine really means and stuff like that. To just take off the layers. That's what people understand. Take off the layer. What about being a man? I mean, take out the money, stand up being a man. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be stand up being a man. Have character. Have character. Have a mind, have a sound mind. When you know something is right, you're gonna be by yourself sometimes. Stand up in it. Yeah, it's gonna be like dark times. Yeah. But stand up in it and understand that you are a beacon for somebody else.
Yes, indeed, brother. So I would I'm processing your answer, forgive me. I would label you as an encourager, which kind of go it kind of I think that's what you do. You encourage and help develop. And that actually kind of flows right into my next question to you, which was when and why did you come to YouTube?
Great question. Nobody never word like that. I came to YouTube of this brother I know that I grew up in Brooklyn. And this is like, let me say this. When I first left from New York and come to here, that was living with my older brother. That's back like never forget, that was June 1st, 2012.
Hmm.
So I lived here a few months. I got my own place, right? And that's September of 2012. Not this apartment, but the apartment a few feet down. So going on maybe a year, right? Where I live at, the old apartment. He said, you got a YouTube channel. No, I don't. Yes, you do. You got over 700 something music videos.
Hmm.
Scratch that out and start doing your thing. And it took me like 3 days. I had some good songs because those songs helped me, got me through. But later on, know about the mixing and all that. So that's later on. So it took me like 3 days, erase that, and I did I was thinking about my father, my late father. I forgot songs of a man, something like that. And I did that like in of 2012. I'm not mistaken. In 2000, like early 2013, I was like, eh. So I said really like in the 2013, that's when I really started, doing content.
13. You've been at it for a while, man. And the transition to trying to lead into my next question because it actually is right there in everything you just said. You're really leading me into my next questions because the next question was what is your channel's focus specifically, and what do you have to offer to nourish this focus of your channel?
I found out throughout the years. No, I'm talking not me as a person. I found out as a me as throughout the years. I have a lot of niches.
Okay.
Very good at it. Personal experience, all that. Well, and I take pride to nourish that. But I think my niche is go back what you're saying, brothers. Encouragement.
Encouragement.
Be counsel. I want to be in the background counsel. That's what I want to do. Because
Hmm.
at that time I was moving up in age, and I had to understand that the young ones need guidance. They need somebody to talk. They need a hearing ear, and so I take out of niches that I had throughout my channel, but just want to encourage, even encourage men that are older than me too, because something that I think that's another issue is that we don't encourage older men
Yeah, baby. Come in.
that really. So, welcome to my channel, Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, number one grinder, one of the best kept secrets on social media.
1 second, brother. Let me handle my wife right quick. I mean,
Oh,
my wife needs to say something to me.
got you. I take care of it. So I'm gonna ask him questions too. So, if y'all can, excuse me, if y'all can hear me, press one. Y'all can hear me, press one. Sister 18, press one. Part three gonna be soon for you. Yeah, so
Ooh,
he's
wee.
back.
Mm, some good chicken, man.
I mean, I'm hungry too.
Mm.
That's best.
Oh, sorry, man. She man, baby, try this for me. Try this for me, baby. You know how it is.
That's part of that part of chopper that comes
Yeah.
with it.
All
And I
right,
be
all
eating
right.
too. I understand.
I didn't want to be rude though,
No, I
So,
understand. You gotta put on the stomach.
damn. Whew. Yeah, that was good. I heard what you said though, because that she came in at the end. Um, okay, well, I said, what is your channel's focus and what do you have to offer? Oh, here we go. I've always wanted to ask you this, and so I'm going to do this right now. Why do you call yourself the underrated darkness, and what is so underrated about you?
Good question. Now, do you want the short answer or you want the long? The long answer ain't gonna be long, but I was JT Blackness, right? When
Hmm.
I first started, right? Then I had the darkness awaken. That's awakening up our darkness. Now the underrated darkness that was during the time. Now we pushing maybe 2000 into 2016, 2017. I The underrated darkness for me was growing, but I'm not ready to use that yet because I felt I wasn't ready for that yet. So that's why I
Hmm.
kept myself dark and awakened. But the underrated darkness was like a baby, but I wasn't ready to open that up. And why I named the underrated darkness because the things I do, I feel I'm underrated. Very secure of myself. So I named it underrated darkness because I'm very secure of my darkness,
Mm.
but people are underrated. They had me underrated. And I feel at that time it fits me, and I kept
Yeah,
rolling.
it's that's a unique name. There's I don't think there's any other ones on YouTube. A matter of fact, I would have never thought to name that. I just can't even fathom that kind of name. Like, why would you name yourself that? It's very clever. The underrated darkness. That's one thing that drew my attention because when you're in chat rooms, all you have is icons and words. And if you know certain things about human linguistics, you can read someone's words and tell a lot about their personality, unless they're just blatantly trolling. But if they're honestly being themselves, even in the chat room, you can deduce their personality type and their conversation type, what if they're aggressive, if they're assertive, anything like that. And so when I would see your name and saw that you were a contributor as well, I said, okay, this is a human being who's really about their business. This human being is about who they say they are. You know, they have a genuinity about themselves. So yes, but I don't really think you're underrated. I mean, if when I devised the question, I said, you know, I don't think he's talking about his channel, maybe the size of it. I mean, but this is a norm when it comes to channels that try to do more promotion. You know, I was watching your interview with what was the brother M1?
And one, yes.
Yeah, M1,
That
and
wasn't a, that was a chopper.
yeah. That was a great chopper too, by the way.
Thank you
Um,
very much.
you guys touched on something about YouTube and how the lucrativity aspect of it is within the gossip section, the celebrity gossip, celebrity talk, the ignorance, you know, the bullshit, for lack of a better word. And when you have channels like this one that's geared towards empowerment, encouragement, um, giving up the game so that you can advance yourself. You don't really see that too much unless it's something to deal with dating and, you know, stuff like that. And that's just a redundant topic. I mean, it's going to always be a topic of discussion, but man, I'm quite tired of it. So, um, okay, so next, what difficulties do you have with YouTube, and what advice? I guess this is two questions in one. What difficulties do you have with YouTube, and what advice would you give someone trying to be a content creator like myself?
That's a good question. Let me tell you why. But I'm gonna give you me, right?
Hmm.
There's a saying that when you're a content creator, no matter what platform you're on, you should stick to your niche.
Right.
Nah, I don't. You shouldn't stick to one niche. You should have different niches that you know that you're comfortable with, and understand that there are some ain't gonna understand it. But to be honest, that's not your problem. It's not. You gotta come. You when you want to find out, you gotta come here and listen. And so you gotta have different niches. That means different experience, you know. And I think that when people say it's different niche, one niche all the time, you get it get dried up. So what do you have something to fall back on? So when I first came in the game, I'm different. I know sports. I know cooking. I know different things. So I want people. That's part of me on social media, right?
Hmm.
But outside it's a little different too. But I you gotta have niches. You gotta. I mean, you gotta know what's going on in politics. I mean, you gotta know what's going on in the family. You gotta go back, know about history. You gotta go. Even sometimes you gotta tap in your own self when you go when you do things personal, because you never know, somebody might hear. You never know, somebody probably be at their last brink that wants to give up on themselves. I think of stuff like that, you know, and so for me, you know, I take pride in that. And there are some people say that, yo, your parents should have been. They should. I agree, but my thing is, and I know it sounds corny. You know, we talk, brother. We know each other 10 plus years, so it's not, people don't think like I'm just running off my mind. I'm not talking about y'all in on chat. I'm talking people outside. You know, I put God first. And when I put God first, I know there's a supreme being. And I know also that us as African descent, we part of God's family. And I know that they are certain things happening to us. that is wrong. That's something that we're bringing on ourselves too, because we should know better. But I always, but my thing foremost, always I put God first, and I fight for our people. Now, do I fight for humanity? Yes, the ones who want to act like a human.
Mm-hmm.
And so I take pride doing that and give like you said, I get a free game. I get so much on free game. I should be a billionaire if you ask me. But I'm a
You're
helper.
doing what you're doing what God called you to do, man, and that's
Yeah, I'm
all
gonna
that.
call. I'm gonna call. See, I got. See, people say, but then also understand that I know people don't. When we talk about religion, you know what I'm saying. But oh, yeah, listen, y'all can have that. You know what I mean? Y'all don't believe, but I, I'm a firm believer in this that when you go through certain things, you should benefit from it, no matter what it is. It could be the darkest times. It could be certain things that not even your fault. But preparing me for something was coming. And so I have to understand that I'm not when I stand for and have these different niches, I'm not gonna be popular everybody. I'm not gonna be part of the boardroom that everybody is. And you know, everybody want to be some. I mean, us as human beings, we want to be noticed. There's no doubt about that. But what a price! Well, I mean, I'm not paying for that price. Like I said, brother, I'm not for sale, and I refuse to be for sale. So there's people just won't push me along. You can't push me along. Can't push me along. So I urge people that when you come into the, just know there's pits and falls.
Yeah.
And be around good, be around people that not just encourage you in the space, but also outside the space. Because you're gonna need that channel, you're gonna need that person to help you along in life. Don't just accept this social media is your life. It's your it should be your secondary life. You just helping people. It's part of you, yes, but make sure outside of space you have room to. So in case like if I don't want to do anything, brother, I ain't doing nothing. I don't do it.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, that's good. I'm glad you gave that advice. Have a niche and stay true to yourself. That's what I took from that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now switch things up a little bit. No more YouTube questions. All right, so let's do a little something that people are more familiar with here. When was your last relationship?
Almost 3.5 years ago.
Dang it! It seemed like it was. Never mind. Okay, how did you meet your woman the last time you were in a relationship?
I met social media.
Ah, that's how I met my wife. Well, technically. Um, and when y'all split, did you split or did she split? Initiate the breakup. That's what I mean.
Either.
Okay. And if you don't mind me asking, what was the main lessons you learned from your relationship?
There's a lot of lessons.
The
But
main one.
the main one is, do you want me to answer as a man or being as a human being? Because I could split it up if you want.
I want you to answer it as organically as possible.
Okay.
The main lesson you learned
The main lesson that I
from that
learned,
year. Mhm.
the main lesson that I learned that is always try to do what's right. And sometimes your growth, sometimes it's not their growth. and also sometimes you think you go above a bond beyond so like that. Sometimes not enough,
Hmm.
and sometimes that I have to say this that when I learned from, I'm not getting away from the question. I'm not getting away. I just want to you. I'm not you. Should talk about you and your wife, right? When I did the chopper with you and her, and what impressed me about the closeness of the family, the outside, no, the unit has to be this, no, because that's how I was raised.
Hmm. Let me tell you something, brother. What you're tapping into right now in this very moment is something that is it needs a gigantic microscope on. Matter of fact, you know how people use those. I don't know what the technical name is, but those microscopes that people put the little glass slides in, and they put the little drop of water in, and there's all them little micro creatures floating around, and the only way you can see them is through that level of magnification. That's what needs to be saturated in amongst the space, and you're touching on that. That is total loyalty, total loyalty. So, what up, Nikki? Um, okay, what do you think?
Oh,
With that being said, what do you think a man needs from a woman?
that's another life.
Well, I can kind of tell you what I think, man.
Well,
I think
I feel that what a man needs a woman is a helper.
you say what
Okay,
now?
a helper,
A helper.
a helper, a lifetime helper. That means that they'll work together to help bring out the masculinity, to
But what
understand.
what does it take for her to be that though?
No, it don't take it to be that. But this, but this is what I'm saying is this that for that, like us as men, we got to stand up being a man, true. But at the same time, what we want from a woman, I want feminine. I want her to understand me. I want her to know that hey, look, make a decision. It's not just me. It's for us to understand the spiritual connection, to understand the moral collection, and you set the vows. Even like you in a relationship that leads into marriage, I think that we should practice, not practice, you should stand on it. And I believe that respect as a woman. This is
There it
God
is.
had made her. Respect
There it
as a
is.
woman.
You just
Respect
said
as a woman.
You just said it. You just said it. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I was waiting to see if you was gonna say it, and you said it. You said the word respect.
Respect.
Respect trumps everything. Respect.
Everything. And yeah, and also, brother, I gotta say this, right? Now I'm talking in my late mother, my late great grandmother, my grandmother, my aunts is this, that as a man, it's respect and love. Or it can be vice versa, but respect has to
Yes.
be there. And so, well, let me explain why. Because not knocking all women, I'm just talking about some. I'm talking about when I was raised, right? You could, my mother she said, you could do everything great. You could go down, you could learn from yourself, you could improve yourself. But if she don't respect you, she was never taught that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and so she understand my need baby son. And I know it's going to be some women going to be like, what do you mean? And these sent men and these son husbands fail to understand this. Again, you're not being taught. She's not your helper.
Yes.
I did like this, bro. Like, she told me that I was 9 years old. Never forget, back in 1975. Now I'm 59 now. Anything has changed. Let's be honest. And so we have to understand that the man has his role and the women have this role. But if you're not being taught of self-love, if you're not being taught of certain roles to play to keep the unit together, go back to you and your wife, right? You see y'all play your roles. But at the same time, y'all work together.
Yes.
And I tell people this all the time too, that I'm a firm believer in this, that if you love somebody, there has to be a priority. There has to be a priority. If you cannot say that, oh, I have priority in this, or I have priority in that. Kareem, how you doing? She's coming next week, y'all. Watch out.
All right. Right
Watch
on.
out.
Look
I ain't
forward to
gonna
it.
say today. But listen, I'm gonna ask Brother Ebo some questions in a few minutes, but I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm just about done. I promise.
No. And I want you to continue it too. Don't be done. But the thing is that it has to be order. And part of that order is you got to make that person priority. You have to, because again, now I'm going back my late father, right? He was dying, really like 87. Passed away in 1989, and we had these talks. And if that woman don't put you in priority, if she's not willing to follow God's order, like your mother said, she's not a helper. Now, I understand what I'm saying, y'all. Karina, you understand what I'm saying? Because you married too. See, they were, before my father passed away, they were together 30 years. Understand that before then, right? My father was married too with 4 kids. My late father, before he met my mom. My mom had 2 kids by this guy and stuff like that, right? But what happened was they put it together. You know what I'm saying? And the kids that he had from the other one before he married my mom was giving him hell. They didn't want to see us or nothing like that. At least I want you to learn from that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't want to have no parts of us. They ain't want to have no part of my mom. My mom's like, but I seen that. You know what I'm saying? When I was very young. So, and also I was married at one time. Almost
I didn't
10
know
years.
that.
Yeah, I was married for almost 10 years.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So my thing is this, that if you're not being taught, to me, you don't have no right to tell anybody how to live their life, how they supposed to focus and stuff like that. And I know people gonna say, well, tragic stuff happened. Well, tragic stuff happened to me too. Brother, I tell you, when I was 11. But I had to say this one. My fight for justice with me was over. There's a bigger fight. I had to help people. You know what I'm saying? I had to pray to God and all that. So for me, that's what I be telling people, that when you get in relationships, lead up to engagement and marriage. I'm sorry, Brother McLean, my brother McLean.
Yes, sir.
Brother,
Clarence in the house, man.
That's my brother.
No duck zone.
See, I want people to understand, Brother JT is talking about, because I'm preaching here. You see how God works through his ways? Bang. Another person that is married, going on 6-7 years. Karina, married for a long time. You hear what I'm saying? God's order is surfacing right here to let us know This is the way it's supposed to be done. Yeah, you're gonna go through rock. You're gonna go through dark times. But if you do not have faith in God, if you don't have faith in your mate, that don't mean nothing. Especially if you got kids. And see, this is the thing that we feel have to understand. You got to keep outsiders out. You got to keep them out. They got to understand. Like my mom told me that. She said, "Listen, I'm your son. I love you, but I ain't your best friend. I'm your mother, like your father. I ain't your best friend." But see, when you say that, oh, that's cruel. You shouldn't do that. I don't know why. You treat a man as cruel. Oh my God. I mean, it's so funny. I'm being respectable tonight because I got my brother Ebro Sosa. And especially these men. I ain't gonna talk about the women because your women, I ain't gonna talk. I ain't gonna touch y'all. But the men, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You're still sucking on Similac. You're still sucking on the titty. I thought we were supposed to get off the titty, right? Drink some juice, right? Also graduate to food, right? So it could nourish it, so it could be better men. That's what I thought. But it's
Some
not
people,
happening, brother.
some
I
people
mean,
never.
we gotta call that, and then we got these fathers out here, right? Want to, glory road, chasing at another young tail. Your job, is done. I mean, they don't even want to embrace elder leadership. That me being 60 next year, God's willing, that I have to embrace that. So my thing is just that it is the way how society how it have. You deal with sensitive people. You deal with people they free spirit. They want to do what they want to do, but they fail to understand when you in God's order, you still have that freedom, but you just have to understand that you have that mate with you. You got to make sure they okay. You can still have fun with your mate. You can still have fun and all that, but they make it seem in this society, oh, it being having a family is boring. Doing things with your wife or your husband is boring. Man,
I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that, but
I mean,
I'd like to hear someone say that so I can
I,
weigh in on that.
I said it, brother, because I heard it. And I had to check it. What do you mean being boring? What is she talking about? And say, but see, again, misery loves misery. And I said this, and I said, and this just came to my head, brother. Listen, if you don't know how to wipe your ass, you got shit on you, and you still can't smell, something wrong with you. We deal with a lot of shitty ass, miserable people that do not want the black man and the black woman be together. They don't. They don't. I know some people in this space, y'all can say the hell you want outside, you don't. But we see in the chat, Sister Phil's been mad long time. You've been mad long time. Brother McClain been mad going on a few years. So this is what I'm saying is this, that it does work. But the point is, they don't want to put in the work. They don't want to put in the work to understand this is longevity. It's not seek it out for 3, 5, 6 years.
Well, to have the longevity, Grinder, you have to have the key ingredients. You said them a few minutes ago, which was love and respect. Unfortunately, love and respect. But first of all, respect. I want to clarify the way I perceive respect, and I've only been able to clarify this based off of my experience in my marriage now. I think respect means that I value you even if I disagree with you. I think respect is I will protect your dignity even when I'm angry. I think respect is I see your worth even when you fall short, you know? And I don't think that people understand how to be committed enough to develop that kind of understanding about respect. And then when, as far as love, oh, love has been twisted into something totally it's been obfuscated, man. It has been complicated but not improved. And I think love, I like simplistic definitions, simplistic understanding, so that way you can take things in life and automatically apply them to life. Love to me is just an extreme passionate devotion to preserve a thing. And once you have respect and love, well, respect automatically will develop into love, because you have, like I said, you value things even when you disagree with things about a person, you know? So I don't think that a lot of people nowadays have those components activated in their minds. I really think that, and this is the reason why I want to do my channel the way I want to do it when I get it popping, getting into cognitive behavioral therapy, getting into human linguistics, because black people are searching for the answers, and they're looking at traditions that aren't theirs, and they're applying them to their lives. Hence you hear, oh, well, I need a traditional marriage, I need this, I need, you know. I think we're self-sabotaging ourselves, and I'm starting to narrow it down to an easy to understand explanation, and that's what I want to do my channel about. I want to do topics about that. Couple more questions, then I'm gonna be done. They're very easy softball. What do you think about marriage?
Lifetime bond.
Uh-huh. And would you do it at this age?
My age.
Yeah, at this age, at your current age, if you met someone, would you do it? That fit, you know, that has or was able to develop the uh the respect and the love that we understand that is needed for a relationship to be maintained. Would you do
I, I
marriage?
I think that the key is that I think that when you have social media, and I know we want to blame social media everything. Let's take social media out. Let's talk about some miserable human beings. You got to keep them out. Both parties. You got to keep them out if you want it to work. And then also prayer. It's very important. Pray together, eat together, find solutions together. Always. I heard somebody, my mother just told me. She said, when me and my father want to you know they want to go to White Castle, they go to White Castle by themselves, so they can have them time together and stuff. So you have to develop that too. Develop the love that you enjoy each other, that you cannot wait after you go out of the day. You just cannot wait. You just go like this, and you get to put the pen like, baby, baby, yeah. I be like, yeah, you know, what day you got? Hey, I just take out that day. Yeah, man, yeah. Y'all schedule it together. And you know what, bro? And I know that it's like that, but the sad thing about it, look at this. They do this. And that's the sad thing about it. And that's why, and also in a relationship, when you go into engage in marriage, everything is not gonna be equal. It's not. So the respect and love and the vows and everything comes into the picture. You hear what I'm saying? And that's what people understand. That when the outsiders come in, You know, didn't want to pray. Oh, I don't want to pray. You know, and so little stuff like that. I'm explaining to people it means a lot. And so, um, for me, and I know that Kosala crochet and everything. You got. I know people say opposites attract and everything. Yeah, that is true. But you gotta find somebody that can be on the same page. That's your ride die. That you know, like I had to worry about. Baby, don't even worry about that. You're not alone no more. You gotta hear that. You gotta see that. You gotta feel that. You gotta advocate for that. But like I say, how many throughout humanity will do that? And you want to know why marriages ain't working, why relationships ain't working. Then all of a sudden they you get an engagement. It's not it's that they I just, look at me, I got engaged. But I'm saying, but what's the sanctity of that? Well, do you know? I said, do you know when you get married, it help prepare you be a better person within yourself, but also be a better person in the unit. But see, questions, see things like me and you talking about, and even people in the chat is talking about, they ain't ready what we talk about. They don't want. You know what? I used to say this when I was younger. Oh, they might not know. No, they don't want to know because you know why? Because they have to check themselves. They have to get the ugliness out because they know that's who you can change. So that's what remains to be seen.
Yeah.
Sad
Hey,
thing about it.
hey, brother, I'm all out of questions. So,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
hope I didn't
Well,
bore
whatever
you guys
question
too
want to
much with
pop
the
up,
YouTube. Huh?
whatever question you want to ask, you can ask. Now it's my turn. Brother Ebo Sosa, where you born and raised at?
I was born in Mercy Hospital, Hyde Park, Illinois, Chicago to be exact. At 3 years old, my mother and us two, we left Chicago. My father stayed there because he had a music career that he wasn't willing to let go of. So
Mm.
we went to California. And I was, for the greater part of my adolescent years, back and forth from Chicago to California. I would do my school here with my mother as an only child in California. We had family here though. My grandmother and my uncle, some of my uncles on my mother's side was here in California as well, and aunties and whatnot, some cousins. So we had a tribe here, but I would go back and forth at an early age to Chicago to California every summer to see my father, and that happened up until I'd say maybe 13, and I stayed here until 17, and then I left California and moved with my father. It was that time because I was becoming very rebellious and rowdy. So yes,
Okay. Now after that, um, 17, as you know, as a black man, it's a challenge.
it was.
It was a challenge. And tell us what challenge that you had to meet, the disappointments, the triumphs, and also another question with it, explain why is very, very important.
Okay.
Us as black men, that we got to keep on improve.
All right. Let me start with the first one, which was some of the difficulties I had at that age. Um, I had a difficult time with Number one, selfishness, because I was an only child and I was very well maintained, not raised, maintained by my mother. I also had difficulties applying myself.
Mhm.
My my attention was very easily distracted because of creativity and girls. A lot of girls. I had a lot of issues with promiscuity and sex and things like that growing up. A lot of girls, man. I started very early in that department with messing with older girls, you know. Um, so it was always a distraction. Um, Also, there was a lot of conflicting messages I was being subjected to. I never wasn't in no gang shit, nothing like that. But but on one side, I had my mother in that experience, which did not have any male role models, and then on the other side was my Chicago experience, which was totally different. My Chicago family, my father's side, I had some uncles.
Mhm.
One was a deacon, former pimp. The other one was a stone cold killer. I think he loved killing people. I think he just, I don't know. It was just, and also the common thing. Oh, I had a stepbrother as well who was a ladies' man, a gigolo, juggling women. I learned that early, having one in different cities. Um, and so all these experiences culminated in me, and it made me very flighty as a young boy. I didn't apply myself except for what I only knew, which was women and some gambling too. I had a little gambling issue. I was very good at shooting pool, um, which gave me access to a lot of areas that I wasn't supposed to be in at that age. I
Mm.
think you can understand what I mean.
Got
um,
it.
Um, but I'd say the main challenges I had was the women and learning uh, discipline. You know, learning how to say no to a woman. It was always yes, yes, yes. It was always the next challenge. It was always trying to get what I can get from her. You know, but I also wasn't the type to abuse. I was taught to always keep them smiling. I was very catering to the woman, you know, because that's what I saw. And I was an only child, so I had to make sure that I was listening to my mom. I didn't want to disappoint her, uh, even though I did in the area of school, because I dropped out of school. I
Oh,
didn't get a high school diploma until I was 20 years old. So um, So those are the difficulties that I face now. What was the other side of the question? The other part?
and the challenges after that.
The
What you?
challenges after that, after all of this stuff, was becoming an adult with all of these issues
Hmm.
and trying to build life with a lack of discipline as a boy, as a man. If you are a man and you don't have discipline, you're lost and you're going to forever be lost. You're going to stay in a certain stage of man as far as development. And the only way I was able to really bust out of it was first I had to see an example of it. And ironically, the example of it came from a dude that I used to work with at Walmart. I had a job at Walmart in my mid 20s as a stocker. And there was this brother, and he would always be eyeballing me. I thought he was some kind of punk or something, like a big old punk, you know? And
Hmm.
so one day we just so happened to be on the same aisle stocking. And he came to me, he was like, Ebo, let me talk to you, young man. So I was listening to him because nobody ever addressed me like that before. It was always, "Hey, what's up, nigga?" You know, that kind of thing. But he addressed me with respect, and so he said, "I watch you a lot. I know you see me watching you. I've been paying a lot of attention to you. You're a very bright young man." And I said, "Really? Well, thank you." And he said, "But see, there's a problem with you." And he said, "You're still a man child.
Mm.
I see a lot of girls gravitating towards you, a lot of older women, a lot of young women. You get a lot of female attention. And I see the way you handle it, and you're not handling it the right way. It's very immature. You're a man child." And you know what? When he said that to me, JT, I didn't get mad. I thought about it. I digested it. And I said, you know what? I think you're right. You're right. And a lot of things started making sense when he said it to me. And so I said to him, I said, "Man, so when do you become a man from a man child?" And he looked at me, JT, and he said, "Whenever you choose to."
Mm.
I said, "Damn, man, you know what?" And that kind of shifted a lot of stuff for me. I really had to look at my life after those words were said to me. And I didn't change, 180 overnight. I just knew that a lot of things I was doing, I was able to pay attention to it and conceptualize it in a way to know what worked and what didn't work, you know, and what I had as a habit versus what I was taught, you know. So yeah, so I know I kind of went past the explanation of the difficulties, but I just
No,
wanted
no,
to
no,
give.
no, 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 no. That's all right. Let me ask you a question while we continue. Are you willing to take questions?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. What's what we're gonna do? We're gonna take questions in 5 minutes. Put your questions in the chat. But let me say this: if I feel the question is not appropriate, I'm not gonna ask that. I will leave that to Brother Ebo.
Let me put my glasses back on to see if there's anybody. Okay.
Okay. So, but another question is, you did it at the 20 and stuff, and I just want to let you know I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm really proud of your. We first got to know each other of your presence. So I just want to let you know that I'm really proud of you and thank you to let me be part of your life and stuff. Now we gonna talk about the 30s and stuff and the 40s and you did all that. Now we know that. Now when you meet when because I know along 30 to 40 you've been in different relationships, right?
Yes, I have children
Yeah,
and
right.
everything. Yep.
Right. Okay, so we won't skip all that. So that means eternal learning. You learn from the. We ain't gonna get into that. You know what I'm saying? But now, when you met your wife,
Hmm.
how she changed your life?
Woo, God, yo, man, I had to step up big time to be with this woman, bro. First of all, I'm just some regular old working class nigga with all kind of dysfunctions. Right now, my wife was a AKA 2 master's degrees, well spoken, disciplined, not even no high body count at all, very conservative, you know. And so here I am, kind of like a coyote, you know. But when I met, first of all, the first time I met my wife was when I was in California. We both went to the same middle school. I first encountered her at 14 years old, and I couldn't stand her. Did not like her at all because we were so opposite, right? And anyway, as the years passed by and we linked up, I saw that in order to be with this woman, I was going to have to make some changes. And I was ready for the changes, brother. I was ready to advance my brain, to expand in order to be able to communicate with this woman, you know? So I did so. I started really paying close attention to my movements, my footsteps, and trying to advance myself as best as I can, showing her reciprocation in the form of discipline, making sure that she saw that her choice to be with me was not a wasted one, the way my first marriage was, you know. Um, but yeah, I had to improve in the areas of cognition. I had to improve in the areas of income. I had to improve. See, let me say this to you, whoever views this, to the brothers. When you meet a good woman and you want that woman the way I wanted my woman, you're going to do what you need to do to get that woman. You're going to travel to wherever you need to travel from. I drove from Maine to Georgia to Cali for mine. And you're going to do what it takes, because when you have a good woman, it's like fuel to your soul, man. She make you want to advance. She makes you want to do whatever's necessary to make that 40,000 become 80,000, or whatever. The point is, she makes you want to advance.
Okay.
And cognition, I had to step up in the area of like showing and improving, man. I had to say, if I was going to do something, if I was going to say I was going to do something, I have to do it. You know, uh, Basically, I'd have to become grounded and disciplined.
Okay. Now another question I want to ask you this. I'm glad. Same thing. You ran into some questions. Now, now you're talking about traveling, talking about be there. So it's safe to say that communication is very important.
Oh God, yes, that's. I mean, if you don't have communication, you have absolutely nothing. You can't develop respect. You can't develop love. Excuse me, I sneeze coming on here, but yeah, communication. How in the world are you going to communicate? How are you going to understand anything about anything without communication?
So also, could we say, now I stand to be corrected now. I don't mind be corrected. So actually, we could say that communication part of commitment and discipline.
Yes, when it comes to being in a relationship, communication
Yes,
is
that's what I'm
is
talking about.
definitely, yes, is definitely tied into the development of commitment and discipline. Because if you don't communicate, then you can't develop any kind of reverence. And let me, when I say reverence, I mean basically respect, in the form of you don't want to disappoint this person. You want to be the best person you can possibly be, and in order to even get to that point of understanding, you got to be able to communicate. Because what good are you? Why is it? What good is it going to be if you're going to put in all the effort and energy for somebody you don't know? You know somebody through communicating with the person, actively listening, respecting the person, even when you pissed off. You know, you might have to uh, separate a little bit, but never break up. My wife and I, when we first got together, as far as communication, what we chose to do is we said, number one, we're not going to go a single day without talking to each other on the phone, some kind of way, whatever. Number two, we are never going to go to bed angry with one another. We're going
Mm.
we're going to talk it out. We're going to talk about it. Whatever the problem is, if it's a major problem and we can't, we just bickering and yelling and screaming, what we're going to do is somebody's going to have to stand down, and we're going to have to separate and come back when we're able to be less emotional and communicate with each other. Communicate. That's the key word. So those are the things that we made as I guess I would say hieroglyphics in our foundation, you know. These are the etchings of our foundation. We will never ever go a day without talking to each other, and we will never ever go to bed angry at each other ever, and we have never done so.
Okay, so that and I'm glad you never. Oh, you have me run neck to neck down to these connections and stuff. So that means we go back to priority that we talked about a little while ago. So that means that priority play a big role, does it?
Of course, it does. Um, Prioritizing your spouse or your mate is what you must do. See, when you in order to have a successful family, you have to first form a nucleus, the center. The center of your family means that you are prioritizing certain individuals, your wife, your children, everything else. And I mean everybody, everything else are extremities, are branches to the base of this tree. Your mother, your dad, your cousins, your sisters, even your fucking children are only branches attached to the base. The base is you and your woman, period. That's it.
Now, let me ask you this question, right, bro? Right? Because now we gonna open some olive branch here. We
All
gonna bring
right.
it back home. Right now, hi, brother OG, another brother happily married,
Right on.
family. I can't make this up. Right now, right now, how about the man or woman, right? They have grown kids, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Man or woman, they have grown kids, right? So you would say that they in a relationship go into marriage, that man or that woman, they should be priority.
Do are you asking, do I think the man or the woman should be the priority?
Yes.
I don't think you can separate the priority into individualism. I think the priority. Now, hold on. Let me before I answer this. I need to make sure that I understand this clearly. Do I think the man or the woman should be the priority? Is that the question?
Going in, yeah, going in, being married, going into a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I know they priority, I understand that. But as we know, when you in a relationship, go into engagement, go into marriage, there are things has to change, right?
Mm-hmm.
It has to change. So my question is that let me reword it. Maybe I reworded it wrong. I reworded it wrong. You feel along the way that the man or the woman they have to be in priority despite they have kids.
Oh yes, yes, yes. Okay. I think I got you now. I got you now. Okay, when you're in a relationship, I'm not talking about a marriage, I'm talking about a relationship. No, no text messages. Okay, first of all, a relationship is nothing more than a trial run to marriage. Okay, if you're in a relationship and you don't have any intentions of being with someone forever, then you're just wasting time or you're just having fun. Okay, so uh, now as far as the priority of a relationship, First of all, that has to be something that's established when you get together. You have to set a foundation. The foundation is the priority. And the foundation should be whatever it is you intend for this to turn into. If you're in a relationship and the goal is to have children and marriage, but you say that the children are grown, so
Right.
in that scenario, the priority should be one another if they're grown. The priority in a relationship between a man and a woman, and there's children involved, the children are grown. Okay, they have their own priorities they need to worry about if they're grown. When you're in a relationship, one another should be the priority. Like, okay, if you're in a scenario to where you're with a woman and she has children and they're grown and you don't have any children, you're taking on the role of being a stepfather, or even if they're not in her life, you're still in that role. You she has, in my opinion, she should be prioritizing you, not the children. They're grown, they're adults. They're not going to be the ones that's going to be making love to you, to be nurturing you, to be filling your cup, to be the one communicating with you to ensure that you are good. No, let them prioritize their lives and develop their own foundations. You know,
I'm putting double advocate, right? Because I do that sometimes. Son husbands, you can't tell me what to do, right? I know my mom like that. So, if I want to talk to my mom, I've had a right to talk to my mom. I could have a conversation wherever I want. You just have to wait.
hmm. Okay, well, if I went through something like that, I'd have a talk with her. I'm not gonna. It's not my job. My priority. Let me talk in the language that we're on. My priority is not to have any dealings with her children outside of respect. Okay, uh, that is on a line of disrespect. Well, it depends on how it's going down, really. If a grown child says that to you, oh, I can talk to my mom whenever I want to talk to her. Okay, yeah, you can. You absolutely can talk to her whenever you want to talk to her. But the priority and an authority should be me if we're developing a relationship, you know. But unfortunately, and I'm speaking from experience, my ex-wife had a child, and she was one of those types of women that say, "Oh man, the kids eat first," all that stuff like that. There was a hierarchy in her mind when it came to her children, and that always posed as a problem. But yeah, if she has grown children, they should be able to talk to her whenever they choose to, but not at your behest. They shouldn't be stepping on your toes, and flexing on you. Oh, I can talk to my mom whenever I want. You gotta wait. No, no, no. I am the man that's with this woman. This is my woman. This ain't your woman. It's like on Baby Boy. That son. I was never. I'm an only child from my mother. I was never a son husband. I knew the game. I knew my place. Whatever she chose to do with her, which fortunately my mother wasn't ever. Well, she did try to remarry, and this guy was very respectable, and he went about things the right way. Uh, but they didn't last because he couldn't shake that cocaine, man. So she chose to stay away from because he was draining everybody's money. But but a good man, just a functioning cokehead. Um, but still, I was never out of line. I knew my place. I knew that was her husband, and I always had a respectable relationship because I was taught these things from the other members of my father's side. I got to see healthy dynamics with my uncles and their females, and uh, uh, where the roles that you're supposed to play. So Yeah, I don't get down like that, man. I don't like that son husband stuff. I think that it's up to her as a woman who has grown children to put them in their place and say, well, no, no, I gotta respect my man first, and the same goes in return.
It goes
If
in
you a
return too,
man,
because they
yeah,
also the father daughter relationship too. We need to
yes,
talk about that too. It goes the same thing too. Now, because see, I'm talking like that because I have family members that operate like that, right? I do on both
hold on,
sides.
JT. My damn, this is getting low on there. I should have logged in from my laptop, man. I logged in from my phone, bro.
Okay.
Damn, I'm getting low. I'm down to 20%. Ah, my bad, Joe. Keep going. We'll go until it dies, man. If I gotta
Okay.
if I gotta log into some on something else, then I'll do it. I'll come back in the chat.
Okay. All right. And so then you got people outside known for a long time. No, don't do that. You shouldn't do it. Now, I witnessed it, y'all, because I had to step ahead. Whoa, whoa, I know that's family, everything, but let them handle that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to give them, but that's not the point. That is theirs. Because when it goes down, when it gets to it, what you gonna do? You gonna throw your head out. I ain't got nothing to do with it. And so that's not a question. I'm just saying that why marriage is not operating as should, relations not as should, even engagement, because at the same time we still deal with, again, we deal with miserable people that make a career of will be around unhappy people. And when you have unhappy people, you got miserable things around them, then you end up picking it up and carry that baggage. And And for me personally, I'm pissed off about it because you should know better. Because you never know God has sent that person for your life for a purpose. And sometimes it's not equal. Sometimes it's not financial. Sometimes, that person could be right there for your guidance. Sometimes it doesn't, I mean, it helps. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's necessity. It's necessity, right?
Yes.
But there's other factors comes into the picture. And so we have to understand, we have to get back to do things the right thing, right way and stuff. And so that's the thing that you talk about. Anybody want to ask questions, feel free. Feel free.
While
You
that
know.
happens, I wanna touch on something you just said, JT. You said engage the engagement. That part of a relationship leading into marriage is not talked about enough, in my opinion. The engagement process is. Oh, well, I see something in the chat. I had a friend named Clarence who I was trying to help. It was a long thing too. It was a love thing too. Excuse me. We first dated at Howard. I graduated. He didn't. We lost touch till a few years back, and I helped when he was down. That's good. That's excellent.
Good. And that's the way it's
Um,
supposed to be.
yeah. Um, when you do that, Sister Nikki, if you're offering genuine help, don't look for reciprocation because you'll tend not to get it. And it'll disappoint you. You
And
know.
and that is the thing. I'm glad you said that, brother, because that's is sometimes our problem. Oh, I help that person out more and that boom like that. But
Yeah.
it doesn't come from a genuine heart. What's the sense to do it?
Yep. Yep. You're
And
allowing
that's
it.
the
It
key.
doesn't.
And that oh, I'm sorry, let me cut you. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good. I was just tag teaming with you. If you allow yourself to do that, and you're putting yourself in a position to be taken advantage of, and nobody likes to feel like that when you're offering
And at the
genuine
same
help.
time, that person feel that they could talk to you and treat you any way they want to. That's not good either. And that's what
Right.
sometimes, you know, sometimes you can chase God's blessings away. And 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 so that's what it all comes back down to respect. Now people can say, "Oh, that girl don't do nothing like that," and like, and so and so we gotta think of stuff.
But I wanted to, oops, sorry, brother. I wanted to touch back on the engagement process.
Go
Uh,
ahead.
the engagement, people think that, oh, I'm engaged. They think it's just part of getting to know somebody where you are telling the other person, well, we're getting ready to be married. We're engaged to be married. The engagement process is nothing of that sort. The engagement, what this means when you're going through an engagement process. Oh, good, Nikki, your heart was genuine. But the engagement means just what the word means. You are becoming engaged, right? And you need to stay engaged with one another forever. Just because you get married doesn't mean you're no longer engaged. All right. Engaged means becoming linked together, or uh becoming in a state of progression.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to do that, you have to develop a genuine urge to respect one another,
Right.
because that's when you become disengaged. When you become disengaged, well, you're not together anymore. That's what disengagement means. It's decoupling. It's becoming uh it's brokenness. Okay, so you're never ever ever in your entire relationship ever disengaged. So don't, if you choose to get married and you go through that process, don't, I'm saying this to you guys so you can have a clear understanding in your mind of what you are doing when you choose to get involved with another person in the institution of marriage, or whatever you consider marriage is, and you go through the engagement process. The engagement process never stops. That's how we're able to continue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and questions that consequence. I was nervous asking Tiffany to marry me, but knew that she was the one. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, and so see, these are the things we need to be around, and so and another question I want to ask you,
Okay.
that you've been in this space for a long time as we've been. Like I said, I know Brother Ebo 10 plus years, so we have a very, very understanding of each other. We know each other's wealth and growth and stuff. But let me ask you a question: in this space,
Okay.
do you see the deterioration of it? Do you see a beacon of growth?
um I wouldn't say the space is going through deterioration, because it's still thriving financially and all that stuff. But I definitely see a shift from there's more grifting and more like fluff, and it's become less potent, and there's a lot of redundancy. I mean, how many times are we going to talk about the same things in this space? I understand the need for improvement. I do get that topic of discussion is going to forever need to be a topic of discussion. But
Right.
okay, what goes on here in this space that we're in? We got dating, we got relationship talk, we got celebrity gossip, we got the ignorant side of things, the trolling and all that. We got what else we got? Black male improvement, and the whole debating thing and all that stuff. Okay, what are we going to take, or what can a person take from any of these topics of discussion that we haven't already heard? You know what I'm saying? So I think the space is, it's not, deteriorating, but it definitely seems to not be going anywhere. It's definitely staying at a certain, it's stagnant. I would say that. Um, Now there are some a few refreshing content creators that I see here and there coming into the space, but for the most part, I see the same damn thing over and over and over. So yeah, that's what I say about it.
Okay. What have you learned um
From this
from this
space.
space to start the positive and the negative?
Um, the positive things I learned from this space on YouTube is that there are people out in this world that are like-minded. Sorry, I'm reading the chat a little bit. There are like-minded brothers who genuinely care and want to improve and change. You, Dr. Tia Johnson, uh, uh, um, so many others. Various. I don't want to keep naming names, but uh, there are people who genuinely want us to improve as a people, not just
Mhm.
men improve, but as a
Yeah.
people. You know, and I do appreciate that and like that. And I've seen guys. There's a guy who does book readings. I love channels like that. Um, they really putting you up on game, trying to get you to understand that there's knowledge out here that you didn't know that will benefit you in this everyday life. So I'm grateful for that aspect of the space. And I'm also grateful that there are men who talk about certain issues that we deal with as men when it comes to women, how to deal with a woman who's unruly and trying to belittle you and trying to use her education as a something that is held above you. I'm grateful to
Yeah.
see that there are men out here that are addressing that, and you can learn from them how to deal with these people. Um, now the downside is that I really hate that the negative is I hate that there's so many guys, so many content creators doing this just for the money. You know, that's all they're doing this for, and they're willing to say and do anything just to get that paycheck, selling out. You know,
Right.
displaying bad behaviors, um, and being very influential while doing so. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think people understand how these screens work when it comes to the mind. How you can really influence somebody to go down a path of self-destruction just because they admire the way you talk and the way you handle things. You
Mhm.
know, so there's an aspect of separation in this space that I don't like. I have a PhD. I'm a scholar. You're broke. Whatever. Oh, you hear all the dumb shit these niggas be saying. You know.
Yeah.
So that is something that I'm really not a fan of, because no matter how much money you make, it really don't matter. Okay, it really there's no excuse for you to be putting another brother down because you got more money in your bank. You know, um, I'll never rock with that. I mean, the saying goes, man make the money, money don't make the man. That's true as long as you accept it to be true. But if you one of these dick suckers and want to just praise a person just because of how many millions of dollars they have, then you're part of the problem. You know, a person could have $1 million and be a piece of shit. That just means they're a rich piece of shit. It's still a piece of shit. Piece of shit is worthless. Period. So, that's just me though. Nikki asked, "Do we think Kevin Samuels helped or hurt our black love?" I think Kevin Samuels. Let's see. of all the content that I think Kevin Samuels genuinely was trying to help. I think that his message was greatly misunderstood because of how highly sensitive people are. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think Kevin Samuels was a saint. I think I've seen certain shows where I'm like, well, why don't he? Man, why is he going that direction with this sister? He could have easily transformed this into a helpful thing rather than, you're going to die alone. You're going to, basically you have no chance if you're 40 years old with children and that. Of course, that's going to make things harder. But I don't think Kevin Samuels was overall negative for the space. I do think he could have exercised a bit more tact, you know. But hey, people like that nowadays. He catered to the times, and he got in where he fit in.
Bro,
Say Mickey.
I'm say this though, right? When Kevin Samuels passed away, I did a tribute about him as a black man.
Mm-hmm.
Now there are certain things I disagree, yeah.
Yeah.
But I say this, and I want people to understand the things that Brother Kevin Samuels has said. I mean, I remember my late father say this. Sometimes God can send you somebody tell you the message, right? Message, right? Even though that you don't like them or respect them. And it's so true when Kevin said because all the things that are going on right now, and I know some people ain't gonna like what I say this, but I'm gonna keep it true. You making him look like he's a prophet. We
No.
got to call it as it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so my thing is this that take whatever Kevin Samuel's saying and better. Stop listening to the tone or the content. Listen to what he was saying. And then when I
Exactly.
did a tribute to him, it was so many people, oh, I'm glad that he's dead, or he this and that. And that's disrespectful.
Like I said, man, we got highly sensitive people out here that don't know how to take
That's what
messages when they're
they
put a
go
certain
for.
way. Yep. For the most part, like I said, man, Kevin Samuels had a message. It wasn't a message that was very friendly to the highly sensitive, you know. But hey, that's the way that man did his thing, you know. Um,
There's some people that he was dealing with that I didn't like. Right.
yeah.
There's some people that he was messing with. I didn't care about him. They didn't care about me. Right.
JT, can you drop the link in the chat again so I can log in from my uh, laptop? Because this phone's gonna die on me.
Okay. Hold on. Nobody don't use the link except brother Ebo. Okay, there it is. Nobody don't touch it except brother Ebo. Thank y'all.
Okay, let's see if this works. Why is this not joining? I always have issues with this this laptop. I keep saying tablet, laptop. Okay. Well, here we go. I think. No, is it working? There we go.
Got it?
Yeah, I'm trying to click join, but it's you're about to join the stream. Check your camera and your mic. Okay.
Thank you, brother McClain. Smash the like button. Okay, take your own stuff out.
Okay.
You
There
got
you
two.
go.
Right, you got two. Now you gotta take the second one out.
Okay.
All right.
Can you hear me
Good.
okay?
Yeah. All right.
All right. We good
Good.
now.
Okay. Yeah.
Much better. Much better.
Okay. Let me take the link out. Okay.
Boom. There we go. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Hope I'm not boring you too much, man.
No. No, this is great. And I got another question to ask you.
Okay.
Now, we see how things is going on in this country, especially our people. What's your feelings about that?
What's going on in this country?
Yeah.
Woo. Put it like this. I'm gonna answer this question like this. I talk to my wife at least once or twice a week about moving to Kenya.
Oh wow.
Cause man, look, I have I have the privilege of really seeing things that people don't see when it comes to this economy. Okay. My job, I work in the drayage side of the trucking industry. Okay. The drayage side is the ports. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I see what's coming in and I see what ain't there. Okay. Shit is getting bad. The ports in LA and Long Beach, there's still stuff there, but I'm seeing a lot of emptiness, versus 3 years ago, it was packed with containers.
Oh.
But what I'm seeing now, you know, I'm not very I'm not optimistic. And plus, I try to keep up with economics as much as I can. Um, I'm not happy with what I'm seeing. I'm not happy with what I'm seeing economically, and I'm not happy with what I'm seeing domestically either. The internal relationships in this country, the at least what the media seems to be, the filter bubble of the media, we're seeing a lot of uh, racial content, a lot of you know, uh, uh, you know, blacks being the problem and all that. A lot of whites rolling up, intimidating. A lot of cop videos showing confrontations. Uh, the media showing rowdy behaviors of black, these are all filter bubbles. Filter bubble is nothing more than the media showing you certain things that it wants you to be conditioned by. Okay, and it's done purposely. It's all a part of propaganda.
Uh,
But if you're not aware of what's going on, you're just going to go with the flow. Oh my God, these black people are acting crazy. Oh my God, these sisters are out of control. Oh my God, that's it, but it's all by design. So that's what I said. As a matter of fact, this book right here called The Crowd kind of goes into it. It's study of the popular mind, basically how crowds work when crowds develop. You actually lose intelligence when you're a part of a crowd. You lose the ability to critically think. And that's what this media is doing to you as well.
right.
combined with the introduction of artificial intelligence, we're learning to depend on it too much. And it really doesn't balance the playing field that much. But as long as you believe it does, you won't develop the ability to critically think about what's being shown to you and conditioning you to maneuver certain ways and think certain ways. So,
So,
yeah,
so let me cut you off. I'm sorry about that.
go ahead. Go ahead.
So actually, you're saying, tell me if I'm right or wrong, there's a diminish of human relationship.
Yes, yes. The more and more screen time we have, the less connectivity we have as human beings. You know, now when when we were children, JT, we stayed outside, you know,
Yes, sir.
bike
Yep.
riding, skateboard riding, big wheel riding, playgrounds,
Yeah.
softball games, basketball courts,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, riding bicycles all with your homies all over the place, making makeshift ramps, tree houses, cardboard boxes being, whatever, So now when you go outside, all you see is like people like this, you know, with their phones. The blue glow from all the living rooms of the houses that you pass by.
That is so true because I've been in certain households throughout the years. They got their phones on like. This is me. I'm like this. Like, you hear him say, "Oh, I was." Man, I mean, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, yeah.
Or maybe but it's like, so, and that plays a role too of the deteriorating of the family unit too. That's what's like, you have beginning relationship, like, we're gonna have dinner together. Put your phone in there. We gonna put the phone in the other room. Let's talk.
Mm-hmm.
Let's engage. Cause I need that.
Yes.
I don't need to be like, because that means you disrespected what I'm saying. No.
Mm-hmm. And you know what else? To tag to that, bro? When you do get them to sit down and talk to you, and you get them engaged, they don't think. All they do is regurgitate what they've heard on social media. They don't take time to really dissect the problem, digest the problem, first of all, mentally, and really think about an answer to say that doesn't belong to someone else. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Yeah. And
This-
also too, yeah, I just pop into my mind. Human social media. You want me to explain that?
Go ahead.
To me, human social media means that instead of you interact, like me to you interact, you
Mhm.
want to interact with other people don't have no conscience about you. And sometimes that is worse because what about the self-humane in us to operate, to get to know the person? So I coined it. So anybody use my thing, I coined it. Let's put it out there. But this humans social media is crazy too. Because it's like you digital to know what was not supposed to know. Instead of understand what's in front of you and deal with it. And I've seen throughout the years like so human social media does go hand in hand. You got the human part, also you got the technology part. But
Mhm.
it goes to show that we don't challenge ourselves to be better You got the artificial, what you talking about. And when I brought up human social media, it's like we going backwards. It's like we are walking robots instead of using the brain, but we not. And sometimes we gotta talk about that in the near future too. Going back to priorities, going back your own self. I said it 2 minutes ago. Your own self humanity. Okay. Oh, whatever. Ebo Sosa said it's all right. No, it's supposed to be all right. It's supposed to be challenged. I was using that as an example. Use brother example. It's supposed to be challenged. If you want to do right, you have to be challenged.
Very true.
If you're not being challenged with who you are, you just a human robot. Do not refuse to God give you common sense because you fall for anything. I did a live a while back a free spirit. We deal with free spirit dumb people, and he talking about grown people. They are in prominent positions.
Yeah. Yep.
That's scary.
That's what we're dealing with, man. That's what we're dealing with. Look at what Clarence said. Dudes became the new females on YouTube.
It's true. I'm telling you like this, brother. I'm telling you, brother. If you would have been there with Clarence McClain, I went off. I'd be going off. I'd be clowning these fools. He said, "Brother Ray, you crazy." I'd be calling the type of that. I don't care. You can't fight. Yeah, you're scared to fight. You fight with your nails anyway. You might as well go on the women out and get some tampons and put on you. Why not? Where's pink? Put some makeup on you. Why not? But see, these people perceive them to have masculinity, but you put on female qualities, though, right? And now we go back to the son husband and these mother teaching her son, and then you got the father, teach their daughters and being masculine. Y'all got it all twisted right here. But when we talk about it, right? Oh, something wrong with it. No. You gotta understand. Listen, let me tell people one thing about me. I can put my key in the door. All right, it's rented, right? But I can put my key in the door. Huh? Do I have people help me along the way? I appreciate it. That's God's help. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I have to get up and pay these bills, no matter if I'm sick or not sick.
That's right.
Nobody can help me. Don't get me wrong. There's people say, "Oh, that person helped me." Yeah, they was an addition to help me. Yes, but at the end of the day, I gotta make sure this household run because I learned from my late parents. Sometimes it's better to learn to run a household for yourself. So when you start having a family, you had a greater appreciation how to run a house. No matter if you live in an apartment, no matter you live in a condo, no matter you live in a house, you know the ins and outs about it. Let me tell you something, family. It be at times, Ebo could tell you, it be at times I be in pain. But I had to get on the bus and pay that bill to make sure that I got to keep this running. I ain't getting no help. Again, I'm not complaining. But I want people like me, but I want to talk about the ones like me that live by themselves and even that understand when you have a little help, it good. But see, at the same time, when you had two people work together, a lot of people be thinking, oh, people they live together. It's easy. It's not easy in these days to keep a family afloat. I mean, bad enough to keep me afloat. But keep a family of folk doing the right thing, like Evo Sosa and the rest of y'all doing. Thank you. Thanks for proving my point. But see, these people that y'all want to, not talking about y'all in here, but other people outside want to listen to, they don't know what it's like to budget a bill, but budget for the month. They don't know what it's like. Yo, I gotta make sure, because see, if I don't pay this bill, this gonna push me back for a long time, and I gotta play catch up. People don't know what it's like that. I gotta make sure that this be running right, so I can give you some great content, so to build up my brand. Y'all know what it's like. I said some people know what it's like that. I gotta make sure to buy certain things for the house, so it could last. People don't understand. You know what I'm saying, brother Eagle, because you say it's a family too. There's something I want to enjoy, but I can't enjoy. Bills comes first. Household comes first. So when people say you selling and stuff like that, listen, I'd rather settle than have a household than bullshit with the money. That's life. Because I was trained when I was very, very young. So when I was anybody that get with me, I not run a household. I not run an apartment. I not run a condo. I not run a house. And I do it, and I didn't mean to brag, and I do it very well. Because have a house, you got to maintain everything.
Yes,
you just cannot maintain certain part. You gotta maintain the house. You got to maintain certain bills and payment. Also, you got leaves out there in your yard. You got to maintain that, because you keep the leaves out there, it be smelling. Then the smell come into the house and everything. People don't think about stuff like that. How do you know about that? Because I got because I was raised right. Just like my parents say, yeah, if you leave this way, it's gonna stink up the whole house. So you gotta clean it. But see, again, when we don't have people teach us lifetime gym experience, this is you get, like you said, society. You see, people too sensitive. You ask them to clean the bathroom. What do you mean clean the bathroom? So that means that if you don't want to clean the bathroom, that means you don't wash your ass. Care about your hygiene or any parts of the house, man or woman. I do like that. I said, oh shoot, if I see something messy, I said, I see. I look at my bed sheet. After I finish the whatever I finish the line, I gotta clean my fucking bed. No, we gotta have that. No, that. But see, we deal with overly sensitive people. You know. Thank you, Brother McLean. Go to his channel, Brother McLean. Go to his channel, y'all. I want you to go sub the Brother McLean. Go sub the Evo Sosa. Go sub. Oh, Nikki, I want to ask you a question. Do you have a channel? Let us know so we can support you. But see, but see, this is what I'm saying, Brother Evo. So we've been talking like this for a long time, but in this space, it's going on deaf ears. This is what I'm saying. Cleanliness is godly. Dirtiness is ungodly. And that's what people fail to understand, that the fundamentals of survival.
Let me clarify something. And maybe I don't need to do this, but for some reason I feel like I need to do this. You said cleanliness is next to godly. Yes, it is. It's very, very admirable to be clean. Okay, but if you can't be clean and you are in a situation where you can't be hygienically up to par,
right?
At least make sure this up here is clean. Okay, because trust me, brother, I've been in situations to where I go back to when I was homeless, brother. I was out here looking filthy, unclean, unshaven, everything. But it wasn't because I was a dirty person. I was going through some hard times. All right. And sometimes you go through hard times, but I'm not going to allow myself to place judgment on someone. Now, if you just a filthy motherfucker, then you you know you need some help, all right. But you know, the point I'm trying to make is just to pay attention to the circumstances of the individual.
You know what, brother Evil, right? Maybe I'm glad you brought it up because I've been hinting it back in 2019 for almost a year and a half, going through the depths of my late mother, my late youngest brother, almost a month and a half apart. Also, I was going through a lot. And I was thinking about maybe I should tell about my experience. What I had to go through. Because when you say you did this, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. And maybe I need to come with my experience again. That I had to go through lifetime experience with the depth. And let me explain people what happened. With my mother passed away at the end of August of 2019, and my brother passed away. My younger brother passed away November 8th. Understand between those times, I created 4 different types of series on YouTube. Let me tell people the habitat, because see, you talk about the habitat. You know what I'm saying? The habitat, because he had the habitat. You got to clear up here. You got to know right here. You got to clear the habitat. I think, brother, you gonna give me inspiration. I might have to really have a special live talk about me. I'm not gonna. I don't think I might have any panel discussion, but I think that y'all should understand where I have to come from. The habitat about this, because I'm not gonna really get into it right now because of little emotion and stuff like that. But I was going through fucking hell. But I remember even when you did this, I connect with you. Because when I went to the library on November 8th, I was going through lifetime experience, right? My older brother, my second older brother called me, not my late second older brother called me. He passed away in 2000 and 2021. I called the advocate, Paul Timothy Thomas. You can pull up on my chat. He called me 10-4. He said, bro, where you at? I said, I'm at the library, keep myself going and stuff. You need to sit down. I said, I cannot sit down because matter of fact, I already set up my live to go on 11:05. I set up almost a day before that. I lost my mama, and I lost my younger brother. The last time I talked to my younger brother, he was in the hospital like 3 or 4 days before that. So November 8th, 2019, I lost my family, but I'm talking about me. I lost my young brother, and that was my heart. I sat at a library. I sat outside, and it was cold. And I said like this, I said, I could have canceled the live, but I thought like this. You remember you did this, right? I still got to help somebody out, though. I got to go through it. Even though I had a heavy heart. Now, at the time, me and my older brother wasn't really talking at the time. So basically, it was y'all help me out. I was going through hell. You know what I'm saying? I never told nobody this and everything, but I was going through hell. I was like this, but when you have your belief in God and have this,
Yeah.
I pull it off. Let people know I lost my young brother. They said, once you get off, I said, no, I gotta help somebody because somebody needs it. Now somebody probably go through certain things. And so sometimes that sometimes when you be around good people you was raised even before, that comes into the picture. And I thought about our people that had paved the way for us. You know what I'm saying? They lived through oh my God conditions. It doesn't mean when I'm going through those accounts, it does. But I thought about that. I thought about the family, because the family back then wasn't really close. Only one who really kept in contact with me is my late second oldest brother, and he was worried about me. He was sickly. I didn't know he was sickly all that time to going in 2021, but he was worried about me. I said, "But I'm all right." You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to get off the subject and everything, but I want people to understand that you have to be conscious what the next person goes. And when Igbo did this, I want the people to understand this got to be clear at all times. You got to keep it clear at all times, because if not, when the devil get to your mind, it get to your mind. You got to, you even though you had certain doubts of belief in God at that moment, you got to keep this clear. You got to keep it clear that no matter what people think of me, I am all that plus a bag of chips. You got to keep on saying that, even though at that moment you don't feel that.
I like to say, yeah, I'm that hot, 777 jackpot, take a snapshot, but pictures can't hold your boy, whether digital or Polaroid.
And then I'm going to tell you one thing. Out of all God go through it, right? That's what the number one grinder comes. I said, hold up, all the years I be grinding. And I remember Brother Dusty. Salute to Brother Dusty. I said, yo, man, I'm thinking I'm call myself a grinder. He said, yo, you need to call yourself that. That's hard. No, I ain't seen nobody heard about that. Nobody ain't seen that. You be grinding, JT. So shout out to Brother Dusty.
Is this you talking about Dusty, that the light-skinned dude that used to be in YouTube? Yeah. I still communicate with him. I haven't talked to him about maybe 3 months. But yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
I said, yeah, I'm gonna call him Brian. He said, why not? You hard, yo. Yo, that name is hard. I don't know about Dusty. I had hard. You need to keep that. You do grind. Keep that. So, as me being creative, I am. Y'all talk to a brother creative. Of course, me named Brother Igbo. Creativity meets creativity.
Yes, sir.
And that's when the number one grinder was born. I wasn't using at the time all that much either. I said, fuck that, I'm number one grinder. Nobody don't grind like me. Nobody don't grind like me. I don't care you got a lot of money. I don't care what. Nobody don't grind like me, because I stand on truth. Nobody don't grind like me. And that's what it is. So I tell anybody, you stand on truth, grind for that. Grind for that. I don't care you man or woman. Stand on that shit. Like my late mother always say this. If you right, stand on it.
Yeah.
Stand on it. And sometimes you by yourself. It's cool. But that other people will learn from that. That's what is so important, that I want people to understand that it was a blessing that had Igbo Sosa here, because you see how we bounce off each other. That man's originally from Chicago. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. He's married. I was in a relationship. Didn't work out. It's cool. It's cool. I go through because it was recent. But at the same time, at the end of the day, I'm still here grinding. God has something in store for me. And it is my purpose to keep it going. Even though even though the world don't want me to. World can't stop me. I'm on God's side. I ain't no human. I ain't no women's side. I ain't no man's side. I'm on God's side. And you better respect that. And so that's why it's very, very important that we have to understand which side you want to be on. Because there's no such thing middle. There's no such thing. You gotta pick a side. And we see a lot of people, brother, and I want you to elaborate on this. They love the middle. I'm just, there's men love the middle. Ladies, y'all love the middle, but y'all don't want to pick a side though, right? Pick a side. And no matter what side it is, it's going to be consequences.
Sides. Okay, let me say this about sides. I think that when it comes to good and evil, you need to pick a side. When it comes to trivial topics like we see here online, I think I personally like to be balanced, right in the middle when it comes to trivial topics. But when it comes to good and evil,
That's what I'm talking about.
I definitely think you need to pick a side. And now, when you pick a side, now let me clarify this. This is just the way I think about reality. Okay, when you pick a side, stay on that side, but learn how to use the other side tactfully. Don't stay on one side and allow
Mm-hmm.
that to be your entire way of being, because that means you're not well rounded. You have to be well rounded in this existence when it comes to how you think about reality. Okay? But pick a side, stay on that side, and learn the pros, cons, strengths, and weaknesses of the side you did not pick. Basically, what I'm telling you people is learn how to play chess, learn how to be the aggressor, learn how to be the defender, the white side, the black side. Okay. So that's the way I perceive the side game, you know?
But see, for brother Evil, right? You broke it down correctly. What I'm talking about, you right. I agree with you totally. But there are people that we got to say this. They know exactly what you're talking about. And I'm not giving them no goddamn grace because you know what Brother Ebo Social talking about. So you stay your fucking ass on that side because you don't want to fucking learn.
Yeah.
And so you let the ones that want to change themselves, that want to transform their lives for the better, you don't want to, you ain't want saying what Ebo Social say. So you stay your stinking ass on that side. Man
Hmm.
or woman. I said it. I stand on it. Stay on that side. And we need to get them out of here. It's part of this conversation. Especially, and the sad thing about, especially in this space. Why do you think conversation is like loopy? Always on the loop and stuff. Because you got some people, they don't want to pick a side. Pick a goddamn side. Like Brother Ebo Sosa, learn from me and be better. But y'all don't want to. So y'all pick the wrong side. Y'all don't want to learn. Stay your ass over there. I don't care. Courage. I listen. I got some here to see. I would drink. I would drink for y'all for that, and I will sleep very, very good. I don't care. I mean, I'm going on 60, bro. I'm being honest with you. I'm going on 60. And I see quite a few things as you see. And I know people in your time, y'all see it yourself in the chat. that people just I'm not willing to hold on negative hands that don't want to do nothing, but they want to bring you down. I don't want to be around people like that. Be around people that at least try. Give me a person that wants to try. Because those are the ones we need to help. I don't want to help nobody that already established and they don't. Oh yeah, it's all about me. Now you stay over there. You don't want to put God first. You want to put human beings first. You want to put necessity first. No, you stay over there. You don't believe in family. No, you stay over there. And see what the devil how devil going to treat you, because devil going to use you up. Devil going to use you up and get somebody else. You know about replacement.
Yes, sir. I was watching Brother Ricky Williams the other day on a panel, and
Shout out to Brother Ricky.
shout out to Ricky, shout out to Brother Ricky Williams, man. He was into it with a brother who was this guy, man. He was talking about, you know what? I can't even like fathom. I don't. The it's not delusion. He wasn't saying anything delusional, but where he chose to like base his perception of marriage and relationships was, I just couldn't do nothing but shake my head, man. I was like, these people, they just don't get it, man. They just don't get it. And the side that he chose to sit on was not conducive of anything successful dealing with a woman. I think he might have been one of them passport dudes or something, which I'm not trying to bang on a passport dude. You go, look, this planet is big, it's beautiful. There are beautiful women of all shapes, sizes, and colors all across this planet. You shouldn't be subjecting yourself to one demographic, okay? I agree. Do your thing. But please, please don't become all high and mighty and holier than thou when it comes to other females, because all females have their issues, okay? They all have their own problems. They all have their own conditionings. Ours over here in the West are heavily influenced by media and propaganda, and we have our issues. But look, man, personally, I ain't never had no problems getting a woman. Never had no problems getting my point across to a woman. But just understand, like we said earlier in the game, that the key thing you need is respect, period. And in order to get it, you got to give it. Okay? That's it. That's the formula.
That's it. And it's true. It's really true about it. Oh, I think really basically when it comes down to this chop up here, it's all about respect, brother. You. I told man or woman, you could do everything right. You could transform your life. You could change within yourself. But if that person don't respect you, they just don't. And sometimes it's not your fault. Just not.
Yeah.
They just was never taught. But you don't have to
deal with a narcissist, So
yeah, and a lot of them don't think they're narcissists.
Yeah.
They don't. They don't think they're narcissists and everything. So, any questions that you want to ask? You can ask any question you want. That'll make them.
No, I think I'm out, man. I'm done. Look like we've been. Put my glasses on. Look like we've been.
Ooh. I tell you, 2 hours and 30-some minutes and 40 seconds. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna wrap it up. It's long enough. And I just before I ask you to make a remark, Brother Ebo Sosa, I just want to thank you to let me in your life over 10 years ago.
Hey, brother.
I want to thank you. Let me be part of your presence. I want to thank you wherever it is that you was there for counsel. Even sometimes but you was there, and I appreciate you. I want you to thank your wife's Nicole, right?
Yes.
Tell Nicole for me on behalf of the channel. Thank you, thank her, because I want to do a part two. Thanks for tell her that maybe she don't think that. Thanks for you, my sister Nicole, and thank you so much. They gave me counsel even when the first part that the first when we did something, when we did a chop up, she gave me so that had me see another outlook,
Yeah.
see for a woman.
Yeah.
Until I thank her for that.
She's very good
Because
at that. She has a gift
because
in that department. Yeah.
yeah, and she, I trying to implement. I'll tell you about that offline, but I try to
Yeah.
implement that. I ain't gonna get into that, man, because I ain't gonna let nothing me down. But I'm just saying that for me, I want people to understand my grind.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of niches I cover, and all of it, I've been through it. I'm just trying to do God's work. I'm not gonna get it right all the time. I'm not. But I'm just saying, I can say, my genuine heart is real. I'm not afraid to stand up against this system. I'm not afraid because I know we got a blueprint and our people had done it. You know what I'm saying? So I have to do the work. Even sometimes it doesn't come, I do the work.
Yeah.
God will provide for me. And he provide with people that's genuine for me to help me keep it going. You know? And I think that's the key there too. That's what's really missing in this space. But you know what we're gonna do, Brother Ebo, so you're gonna make your last remarks, you're gonna stay, and I'll make my last remarks, we'll close that as a family.
All
The
right.
floor is yours.
Uh, I'm going to just take this moment as a last remark to say what I said in the beginning of this show. Your mind is like a parachute and it will not work if it's not open. Okay? That's all I got to say.
Mm, that's Ebo. Straight to the point. Yeah. That's why I love that brother, man. But I would say, let me see. Let me read this last. He said, "Oh, I love her name. I'm Nicole. Oh, you Nicole from Illinois?
Yay.
Whoa, she got a special. You got to be special. Yes, she is.
She is, man.
Thank she
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
I met her, Nikki, and she's yeah. It existed. Let me tell you. Before I finish reading your comment, she said, "Yeah, I heard things about you, brother underrated, and you keep on doing what you gotta do." I did just like this. Like I wipe my tears because I didn't hear that from a sister for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
A long time. And while she's saying that, that means wherever I do, so people does pay attention. So you keep on doing what you gotta do. No wonder my husband talked very highly about you. And you know what I did? I did just like this, bro. I'm talking about flowing. Because again, I never had a brother told me that besides my late second older brother. He said, nah, J Bone, you great. I don't care anybody say. You great. You I like what you do. Maybe I don't say you great, but we want to call great that people already have. The one who do the work, those are one great. Don't not look for satisfaction. But I just want to let people know it comes. She said, "Thank you, brothers, for the live. I'm just glad to be a witness. Blessings to you. I hope that you subscribe to us, Nikki. Subscribe to me. Subscribe to Brother Epo Social. Subscribe to everybody. Matter of fact, let me go. Matter of fact, before we get out here, where I make my last remarks, let me see that we got you. You know, because
I'm
we
going to
gotta
put
make.
I'm going to put
Go ahead.
something in the chat So if anybody wants to be entertained by my wife and myself, we did a YouTube show. Not a show, but I posted a YouTube video years ago about how
Oh,
to make.
Nikki, I already subscribed to you. Do you subscribe to me? Yeah. Let me see. Well, Nikki, I'm gonna make it as a mod.
Yeah, I gotta subscribe to Nikki too. Let me do that right now.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. I can wait. Let me see. I don't think I subscribe to this channel. Am I? Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Oh, I am. Okay.
Bam. Got it.
Got it. All right, so Nikki, I make it as a mod, so in case that you want to bump somebody out and stuff like that. But I feel that before I make my last remark, let me say this: that they say older black men cannot function. Older black men cannot build.
Who said that?
I already proved that. With brother AM1, part 2 is coming. I already proved to Evil Souls. I already proved to you when I had brother Clarence McLean. So what else you want from me? The Manosphere. What else you want from me? What else you want? Huh? Because I know there are some brother Manosphere they good. They good. There are some they good. But I'm just saying. But it's cool though. You know, y'all see y'all. But just understand this. Right here, it's real. We willing to roll our sleeves up. Even the lights not on us. We doing the work. We don't need no light. Because God will already give us the light anyway. Put that in your pocket. On behalf of my channel, the underrated darkness, yours truly, the number one grinder, one of the best kept secrets on social media. Believe that. I've been put it down for a long time. I'm a vet in this game. Better believe that. I handle my business. Evo Sosa handle your business. Everybody, the people in the chat handle your business. Part of the underrated one family. Because we stand on truth.
That's right.
We stand on truth. And sometimes the truth gets lonely. It's dark, cloudy sometimes. But stand on truth because the light is around the corner. And so thank y'all. This is the last of Brother Ebo will chop it up with me on the Darkness Roundtable. Hashtag the truth, #1 grinder. See you next time. Oh yeah, forgot to tell y'all. She was in the chat earlier. Sister Corrine Fields. I'll be doing a chopper with her this Thursday. This Thursday coming to God's willing, 3:35 p.m. East Standard Time. Check that out too. We coming. Ebo, I'm gonna reach out to you after this, so be just briefly. So good night. Thank y'all so much. Much blessing to y'all and your families. Thank y'all. Because it wasn't for y'all, this would never happen. Thanks for each and every one of y'all. This one is Ghost.
Peace.